I'll just start recording and wait for like 2 minutes, then we'll start. Thank you for joining. Okay, I will just start. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, maybe do a thumbs up. Okay, so welcome everyone and thank you for joining today's session on protect your energy healthy boundaries for 2026. So my name is Ade Oluwayemi. For people that have not met me before, I'm a professional transition coach and I'm excited to guide you through this powerful conversation. As we approach the end of the year, so many activities are going on, maybe in our work, in our family, trying to prepare for the new year, making so many new year resolutions and things like that. So I believe that this is the right time for us to reset, for us to reflect and create healthier boundaries as we enter into 2026. We need to feel grounded, confident, and in control of our year. So today's session is going to be supportive. We are going to walk through some tools, and I believe we can start immediately. So, when we talk about protecting your energy, there are different energies that we have that we need to protect. The three main ones are emotional energy, mental, and physical energy. So emotional energy involves your capacity to process your feelings and support others. One thing about emotional energy is that you need to be able to process your feelings first before you can help others to process their feelings or support them in processing their feelings. So we need to protect our emotional energy. The next one is mental energy. This is your ability to be able to think clearly, concentrate, plan, and make informed decisions. So this involves us thinking maybe at work, planning our new year, trying to make new year resolution. We use our mental energy to do that. Physical energy, this is the most common one that we know is your body's fuel, your ability to sleep, move, rest, and overall health. So these are the three main type of energy that we need to be protecting into into a new year. Just a minute. Somebody wants to join. So, there are common signs that your energy is being drained. When you are feeling tired after sleeping, maybe you've rested for a long time and you woke up, you are still feeling tired. Sometimes you dread certain calls, certain meetings, certain people. Maybe your phone is ringing and you see someone's name and you are wondering, oh, what is this person want to say at this time? Those are the things so that the signs that your energy is being drained. Sometimes you feel guilty for resting. Maybe you want to just take a nap and you are thinking, oh, I have not done this, I have not helped this person to do this, I have not achieved this. So you are feeling guilty for resting. That is also a sign. Or you are saying yes just because you want to be there for somebody. I understand that we need to be there for people. It is good to be there for people, but sometimes our body might be saying no. Maybe because we are exhausted, we are tired, we've done so many work, or we are just not in the mood to put ourselves out there. But you just want to say yes so that it won't look as if you are being mean or you are being wicked. So these are signs that our energy is being drained. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed by small things, maybe little things that doesn't supposed to make you angry, but you feel angry because of those things. These are common signs that your energy is being drained. It might be your emotional energy. This one is drained when you dread talking to some certain people, or you dread having those conversations to help somebody. This person is always asking for help. Am I the only one this person is asking for? That shows that your emotional energy is being drained. You don't have the capacity to be there for other people. You are still trying to balance off yourself. So these are common signs that your energy is being drained. So many people struggle with boundaries. When we talk about, we said we are creating healthy boundaries. So many people, no, it's not that they don't know that they need to create boundaries. It's just that they feel that they struggle with creating those boundaries. And it might be because of guilt. You feel that if I tell this person that I am not available to support them at this time, they are going to feel disappointed. Or if I tell them that I am not available, they'll feel that I'm not being social. I don't want to mix with other people. So sometimes guilt make people to struggle with boundaries. Another one is cultural expectation. This is very common in this period. It might be maybe you have family traditions that you go through during Christmas and New Year, and you just don't have the bandwidth to do it this year. Maybe this year you have taken more responsibilities at work, or maybe your family have increased and it's just not in your capacity to do that. But you don't want to say no just because you don't want to disappoint your family, or you don't want to disappoint the community that you belong to. So it might lead to people struggling with creating those boundaries. Another one is fear of conflict. If I say no, I might be upsetting somebody. Somebody might be angry with me if I say no. So you don't want to cause strain with your relationship with others. So you don't want to say no. You just want to just show your face and say, okay, I'm here. But you know within your mind that you don't have that bandwidth to do that. Another one is fear of being seen as rude, selfish, or ungrateful. Maybe because somebody have helped you in the past and you feel that, oh, it is my time to also step in. It's good to help, like I said, it's good to be there for people, but you also have to be able to have that bandwidth to be able to support other people. If you are not in a good capacity to support yourself, you can't support others. Sometimes you might be talking to give me a moment. I'm seeing some notifications. Just a moment, please. Okay, sometimes you might be um if you are not in a good right phase of mind and you want to support other people. I've seen an example whereby somebody, just because he wants to show his or her face to say, okay, I'm there, when the friend was pouring out our own problem, the person that is supposed to be the support started crying, just because you don't have that capacity to be able to absorb other people's emotion. So you have to make sure that you set those healthy boundaries. So there are different type of boundaries that we can set for ourselves. There are different type of boundaries that we can set for ourselves. Example is emotional, time, digital, work, family, relationship, and internal boundaries. These are the type of boundaries that we need to set for ourselves in 2026. Let's talk about emotional boundaries. Emotional boundaries involves you protecting your feelings, having that emotional capacity and personal space. You remember me sharing an example of somebody coming to a friend thinking that the friend will provide the listening ear, but at the end of the day, because the friend does not have enough capacity to do that, the friend broke down. It's now the person that needed support that is supporting someone else. So emotional boundaries is you first of all protecting your feelings, making sure that you have emotional capacity and personal space to be able to take up others. Example of how you can set emotional boundaries is you can tell somebody that, okay, I can listen for a few minutes, but I don't have the capacity for a long emotional conversation today. If you know that you don't have that bandwidth at that point, so you can, so that you won't dismiss the person, you can just tell the person that, oh, I don't have the capacity to listen for a long time today, but I can listen for a few minutes. So that way that person will know that, okay, it's not as if you don't want to listen to me, just that you have some constraint and you don't need to explain yourself further to that person. Another type of boundary we need to set is time boundaries. You need to be able to protect how you use your time. Everybody has 24 hours. No matter how rich or how poor you have, you cannot have more than 24 hours. So you need to be able to protect that your time. So there are some people that they don't know how to mm, help others manage their time. So you yourself, you just have to manage your time by yourself. You can say an example like this: I am only available for 2 hours, or maybe I'm only available from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for this meeting. After that, I am no longer available. If the conversation cannot be within 2 hours or maybe 30 minutes, depending on your capacity, then maybe we should postpone it to another day. That is you protecting your time, setting boundaries for your time. Another types of boundary we need to set is digital boundaries. We all know the era that we are in, the era of social media. So reducing your social media or phone usage to avoid burnout. Some of us we might be going through so many things in our personal life, and sometimes you will be on social media, maybe something is not going well for you, maybe you are looking for a job, you are looking for promotion in your workplace, you, different challenges can be going through your mind. Then you're on social media, you are seeing, maybe you're on LinkedIn, you are seeing somebody posting, oh, congrats, I'm happy I've got a job. You are seeing so many congratulations all around, and you are like, when is mine going to come? If you know that you don't have enough capacity to deal with those, you can maybe reduce your phone usage or social media usage for that period of time till you are able to be able to bounce back and be able to go back to social media. You can set boundaries for yourself, like maybe if you know that your, another example is maybe your phone is not making you to have enough rest. Sometimes we press our phone all through into the night, like maybe 1 a.m. you are not sleeping, you are pressing your phone, and you know that your body needs to reset, you need that physical energy. So you can set boundaries for yourself and say that you don't respond to any kind of messages after 9 p.m. By 9 p.m. your phone is switched off. You are the one that know yourself. You know the best time for you. You can set it maybe 9 p.m., 10 p.m., depending on you. So you can set that those boundaries for yourself. Or when you are at home, you will not look at your work phone until you get back to the office the next day. That is how to set digital boundaries. Then let's talk about work boundaries. Work boundaries is maybe the kind of boundary you set when you're at work. You have to limit your workload. If you are having a lot of workload, you can have discussion with your supervisor or someone, your manager. But if the workload cannot be reduced, then you have to be able to look for other things that you need to do in your own personal life to be able to create more. capacity for you to be able to do your work, because again, you need to do your work, you need to get the
So
money to take care
was
of
need
yourself.
to start
So
the
you need to um I need to put some people on mute. I'm hearing voices. Okay, sorry about that. So you need to be able to um know your availability, your responsibility. Sometimes even if you're at work and you know that maybe a lot of messages are coming in, you can set block some time within your schedule to be able to do focused work, so that you will try to limit distraction as much as possible. Sometimes it's very difficult for us to be able to walk through boundaries at work, but it is achievable. If you put your mind to it, you can achieve it. Another type of boundary that we need to set is family or relationship boundary. You need to shape the expectations that friends and family or relative have with you. You need to let them know what you can commit to and what you cannot commit to. Example of what that you can use when it comes to family or relationship is, I love you, but right now I cannot host this party this year. Maybe there's you have a tradition in your family that you have to host when it's Christmas, when it's New Year. You can politely communicate that to them. And if um there is no way for you to shove that away. You just have to host. Maybe instead of doing all the cooking yourself and getting tired, you can invite everybody to come in to help you, or do potluck or things like that, just to be able to send those boundaries and give yourself time. You can even, if you have, maybe you have little kids or you have little ones around, you can let them know that you need some quiet time for yourself. The quiet time can be 10 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, depending on how you can um hold the fort for people not to like bother you. But make sure that when you set those boundaries and people understand that okay, those boundaries exist. Initially people might be finding it difficult to adjust to the boundaries that you set. But if you stand firm to those boundaries, you will be able to, they will be able to get used to it. The last type of boundaries that I want to talk about is internal boundaries. This is the boundary within ourselves. You need to be able to be self-disciplined. You need to respect yourself. So self-discipline involves you saying that when I'm with my family, when it's family time, I'm not checking my work phone. When I'm in my house, I'm not replying any email from the office until I go to the office the next day. Or you are not overcommitting to please people. You know that you only have, after work you only have maybe 3 hours to rest or something, then you are committing to visit 5 people. It's not very visible. So you make sure that you are respecting yourself and having that self discipline for yourself too. So you need to be able to set those boundaries. So those, just to recap, emotional boundaries involve you protecting your feelings. Time boundaries involve you protecting your time. Digital boundary involve you reducing the use of phone, social media, depending on how you feel that it is affecting you. Then work boundary is setting availability, responsibility, and trying to reduce workload. Then relationship or family is you letting your family, giving them expectation, making them understand that you also need some time for yourself. Then internal boundaries involve your self-discipline and self-respect for yourself. So we've talking about energies, we've been talking about boundaries. Those boundaries, we are setting them just to protect our energy. Remember, when we started, for those that are joining, we've talked about physical energy, we've talked about emotional energy, we've talked about mental energy. We need to protect these three major energy for us to be able to um be more productive as the new year is coming. So we have also talked about boundaries. If you set those healthy boundaries, it will help you to protect your energy. So now let's look at energy audit. Looking at identifying things that drains your energy and identifying things that refuels your energy. The truth is that there will always be things that will drain our energy. We need to identify them and also identify things that fuel our energy. So your task now involves you looking for a lot of things that fuel your energy so that it can balance out the one that is draining your energy. And if you also identify things that are draining your energy, you can work towards removing those things if possible. And if it is not possible, then you have to balance it out to say, okay, I've gone through something that have drained my energy. What are the things that I can do to refuel that energy back? Sometimes what drains our energy can be work. You can't say because your work is draining your energy, maybe you want to resign or something. You might not be in that position, but you can look at it that, okay, after I've gone through 8 hours of work and my energy has been drained, what are the things that can refill that energy? It might be maybe you resting, you relaxing. It's for some people, it might be food. Some people, it might be exercise. Some people will love to go to the gym after work just to refuel their energy. Some will be movies, some will be spending time with family. So you just have to be able to identify those drainers and also the refuelers. So drainers can be people, it can be tasks, or it can be habits that you yourself you have within you that drains your energy. Likewise, refuelers, things that refuel your energy can also be people. Maybe when you have done a lot of work, you just need to talk to somebody, you need to call a friend, you need to talk to your spouse. It might also be people. It might be habits. Maybe you have the habit of scrolling to social media. Scrolling to social media can be some people's energy drainers and it can be some people refuelers. So at the end of the day, you need to be able to know yourself and to be able to know what drains you and what refuels you. So, example of what drains you might be you saying yes out of guilt. I've talked about this before. Just you saying yes because you feel guilty that if you say no, this person is going to feel bad. So it can be constant scrolling on social media. It can be what is draining your energy, and it can also be what is refueling your energy. Refuelers for you can be journaling, walking, mindfulness, it might be yoga, it might be workouts, it might be different things can um, refuel your energy. You need to identify the patterns. You need to ask yourself questions like, who or what leaves me feeling exhausted every time? What are the things that I do, or who are the people that I am with when and they make me feel exhausted? So if you identify that, you will be able to know that okay, these are drainers, or where am I giving more than I can sustain? Those are also drainers. So you having ability to be able to decipher those two. So like I said, try to identify a lot of refuelers in your life so that when you are drained, you can easily utilize one or two of your refuelers to be able to fuel your energy back. Because sometimes it's not just about rest. Sometimes I shared an example of when you sleep, you relax, but you are still feeling drained. So sometimes it's not just rest that we need. It might be that we need to remove some habits for our energy to be refueled. So how do we set healthy boundaries? You need to get clear on what you need support. Sometimes you need to get clear on what you need. Sometimes you need to yourself, you need to know what you actually need to be able to set boundaries. Do you need more rest? Do you need more time? Do you need space? Do you need support? Let's talk about rest. It might be that maybe you are just having 4 hours of sleep, you need more hours of sleep. Then you can go through your schedule for the day and see things that you can maybe remove, or you do it faster to be able to get enough time to rest. It might be time. Time is very difficult because there's no how you can add to the 24 hours, but you can look for things within the day that you can drop or you can remove from your date to say, okay, I'm not doing this today, to be able to have more time for this. It might be space. Maybe you just want to be alone. It's you just want to be by yourself. It might be for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just to be able to be in your own space and meditate and do whatever you need. Some might be support. For example, if you have a lot of workload, you can have those conversations with your supervisor, your manager, to see if there's a way the workload can be reduced, or you can have the conversation with your colleague to see how those support might be. The support might also be for you to see maybe a therapist, or it might be for you to see a mentor, a coach, whatever you need. You need to be able to define that. You need to be able to be clear on that. So when you are determine or identify what you need, then you need to communicate that clearly and firmly. You know, I was sharing an example that having to set boundaries with family or relative is very hard, but you need to be able to communicate that clearly and calmly. You don't need to turn it into a fight. You let them understand the reason behind it, that, oh, I need 10 minutes to myself. I just want to rest. I just want to do this. Explaining it to them so that they will understand. And when you have communicated that, you need to be consistent. If you have shared with your family and friends that, oh, maybe every Saturday evening I need to do this, I need to do that, you have to be consistent with it. If you are not consistent, then sometimes they might think that you are not being serious. So you have to be consistent with it when you set those boundaries. You need to also expect pushback. We are human beings. When you try to set boundaries, because this is a new thing that you are doing, people will be like, maybe, oh, it's a new year resolution. After 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, this person is not going to go with it again. So you will expect pushback. It is normal. You don't need to be afraid of pushback, or you don't need to be discouraged. So expect pushback, but remember to always hold the line without feeling guilty. It's very, very easy to feel guilty when you are setting your boundaries, but you need to hold the line without feeling guilt. Boundaries is very important for us to set, because not just in just protecting, because if you protect your energy, you are protecting a lot of things. You are protecting your health, because if you have a lot of energy, then you will be in a good state of health. You will be energized, you will be full of life. So it's very, very important for us to be able to set these boundaries. This is an example of simple boundary scripts that you can use. If you want to say no, you know that you don't have capacity to do a task for somebody. How do you say no politely? You can say something like, thank you for, maybe somebody have asked you to do something for them, but you know that you don't have the capacity to do it. You can say, thank you for thinking of me. I don't have the capacity for this right now. If it's something that maybe you will have the capacity next week or few days later, then you can set a timeline. But if you know that you are not sure of the timeline, don't put the timeline. Just let them know that you don't have the capacity for it right now. So you are saying it politely. Another thing, another example that you can, another script you can use is, I wish I could, but my schedule does not allow it. So this one, you are saying that you want to do it, but you wish you could do it, but your schedule does not allow it. You can say, I need to pass on this one. So there are several ways in which you can politely say no. Initially, it might be strange to people. They'll be like, oh, this person is somebody that always say yes. This is person that my go-to person when it comes to this, when it comes to that. So when you start setting those boundaries, it might be strange to people, but you need to be consistent. You need to be firm. You need to be able to know that there will be pushback, but you need to hold the line. Another script is maybe setting expectations early. So maybe you want to tell somebody something in advance. You can say, I won't be available on weekend, but I can respond on Monday. Or if you need me, please message me before 6 p.m. This one will make somebody know that, okay, I can't get through to this person when it is past 6. You have already set that boundary. If you say you are not available on weekends, you will respond on Monday, they know that, okay, this person is not going to do this weekend. And make sure that you if you've already told someone that if you need me, please message me before 6 p.m. Then the person messages you at 6:30. Don't reply, because if you reply, next time the person is going to repeat that. So just wait till the make sure you follow through, make sure you are consistent. That way it will let people know that yes, you mean what you say. You're a person of your word. Handling pushback. I remember I said that there will be pushback, but you have to know how to handle those pushback. So when there's pushback, you can say, I understand that this is disappointing. Maybe you have told somebody that, no, I am not available to do this until Monday. And the person is like, oh, no, please help me. I don't have any other person. You can say, I understand that this is disappointing, but my decision is still the same. Maybe the person ask someone else to talk to you, or the person is trying to bribe their way in. So you have to be able to handle those pushbacks. Another one is to say that this boundary is important for my well-being. Everybody wants us, like, you need to be well before you can put yourself out there to help somebody. So this is also an example of how you can handle pushback. Remember to keep boundaries consistent. You need to restate the boundary without explaining repeatedly. If you are explaining and explaining over and over again, then they might think that maybe you will cave in, you will do this. But restate the boundary without explaining repeatedly, and follow through with your action. If you have already given a timeline, make sure you follow through the timeline that you have given. Don't try to budge in, don't try to um change what you have said. Make sure you follow through. If you tell this person that, okay, I will be available Monday 2 p.m., make sure you are available Monday 2 p.m. So that way they will know that, okay, it's not as if you don't want to help. It's not that you are running away. It's just that you are setting boundaries for yourself. You are setting boundaries for your well-being. Another way in which ways in which we can protect our peace. We've been talking about how we can protect our energy. Now how we can protect our peace now. It might be morning grounding. It's depending on you. It might be a 5 minutes of stillness, of prayer, whatever. If you're a religious person, it might be early morning prayer. It might be just you in your elements, no noise, no just quiet stillness for 5 minutes. It might be maybe you are not scrolling your phone the first few minutes you wake up in the morning. It might be exercise, it might be stretching, it might be yoga. You looking for something that can bring that calmness to your day. Everybody's way of grounding in the morning is different, so you just need to identify what works for you. You might need to do a couple of things to be able to know what is best for you. So try to explore things, try to explore different activities that you can do in the morning that can give you that calmness or that stillness. Another thing is to avoid burnout. If somebody is bringing a task to you or asking you to do something, before you jump in to say yes, or before you agree, try to pause and look at and try to have that mental picture of what that task is going to take from you. Do you have the bandwidth or the capacity to do that? Think about it before saying yes. Another major thing that you can do to avoid burnout in order to protect your peace is to schedule your rest. Sometimes we know how to schedule our meeting, we know how to schedule everything that we need to do for the day, but we don't schedule our rest. Rest is not always equivalent to sleep. Sometimes you might just lay on your bed, not sleeping, you are still resting. So it's not many people just leave rest to, okay, when it's night, I sleep. That is rest. No, you can Look for different ways that makes you relax, makes you feel rested. So always schedule your rest the way you schedule your meetings so that you will not be skipping it. Then give yourself permission to do less. Some of us, we are so used to burnout that anytime we are not busy, we feel that we are not being productive. We are looking for what to do. We are trying to make sure that we are active. So allow yourself to do less. You don't need to be busy every time. So give yourself permission to be able to do less. Another way to protect your peace is to create margin. Leave gap between commitments. If you've already scheduled this one 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., you have another meeting 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. What if this meeting exceeds 2 p.m.? Then you are rushing from one meeting to another. Why not give like little gap, even if it is 5 minutes between, so that you can have a little time to catch your breath or have a little time to pause before you enter into another commitment. Reduce unnecessary obligations. There are some obligations that we know that, okay, if I don't do it, other people are available to do it. But maybe we just, like I said, it might be cultural expectation, it might be guilt, it might be the fear of, oh, this person have done this thing for me, I need to do it back for the person. So try as much as possible to reduce unnecessary obligations. Then practice one thing at a time. All these things that I have said, it's not like you should do every one of them at a time. Identify the one that best work for you. You might need to do several ones to know the one that works best for you, but make sure you are not doing everything in a day. Give time so that you will know which one works better, and by the time you discover the ones that are good for you, then you will commit into doing that. So that is how you can protect your peace. Daily energy recharge habits, things that you can do to recharge your energy daily also is stepping outside for sunlight. You can just step outside, especially people that work in on the decks for 8 hours. Just take breaks. During your break, make sure you step outside for sunlight. If you are living in somewhere that there are no much sunlight, as much as possible, try to, when there's sunlight, try to go out, have a walk. It might just be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Make sure you are stepping outside. You are not just sitting all day. Take water breaks, drink a lot of water so that it will hydrate you. Take quiet times. You can maybe if you like to be alone for some few minutes just to get yourself back, you can do like that. Then cutting down on digital overload. I've talked about phones, can be your iPad, your laptop. Always some people they work on the desk with their laptop 8 hours a day. Then when they go home too, they are still on their laptop doing one thing or the other. Try to cut down on those things to be able to recharge your energy. What to leave behind in 2025? We have just few hours to the end of 2025. What to leave behind in 2025 is self-neglect. Don't neglect yourself. Take care of yourself, because if you I think I've said this thing a lot of times today. If you are not taking care of yourself, it will be difficult for you to take care of other people. Do not overcommit. Just make sure that you can, what you are committing to is what you can do and you have the capacity to do. Leave behind guilt-driven yeses. You are saying yes because you are feeling guilty. You have to leave those behind in 2025. Emotional labor without support. Always ask for support. In if you know that there is room to ask for support, ask for support, ask for help. Poor digital habits. Make sure you are leaving that behind in 2025 so that you'll be able to protect your energy in the new year. So what to carry into 2026? Clear boundaries, balance, rest, prioritizing your mental health, and purpose-driven commitments. Make sure that the commitments you are making are purpose-driven. You are not making those commitments because you are feeling guilty. Prioritize your mental health. How do you prioritize your mental health? By taking care of yourself, resting, eating well, exercising, relaxing. always make sure you have balance in whatever you do too. So th- this is New Year boundary promise on your own. Or if you are able, you can also put into a chat. I want you to, you can put it in the chat. I want you to finish this sentence. In 2026, I promise to protect my energy by, then you complete it yourself. You can say in 2026, I promise to protect my energy by saying no without guilt. In 2026, I promise to protect my energy by resting before I burn out. In 2026, I promise to protect my energy by limiting access to my time. So I want you can write it somewhere that you will see and you know that this is the promise to myself in this new year. S- So that you can, if you remember this webinar, you remember that, okay, I have promised to say no without feeling guilty. I've promised to not overcommit and things like that. So this is the last slide for this webinar. If I'm going to pause for some time in case there are any question. If you have question, you can put it in the chat or on mute to ask your question. Okay. If there are no questions, I want to invite you to join NetFace Networks. This is a it's safe community in LinkedIn. It is free to join. In that community, I share information about um, career transition, professional transition, talking about leadership, burnout, and so on. So we have so many people. It's a new group that I've just created for people that are navigating one change or the other in their life. It's a safe community for reflection, for growth and encouragement. I'm going to put the link in the chat box. So it's on LinkedIn. You can join the group. I'm going to put it in the chat. Just a moment. Yeah, so the link is in the chat. You can join the network. Um, in this group, we share different information about career, about leadership, about growth, and the likes. And also on YouTube, I also do. I'm a podcast host where I share more information too. So if you follow that LinkedIn group, you will see so many of um, posts about um, burnout, emotional intelligence, and things like that. So, if there are no questions or any contribution, I want to thank every one of you for joining today's webinar. It's nice sharing this information with you, and I hope you have a good and a happy new year. Good night.